Welcome to Bible Study with Fred. I'm in Proverbs 23, verses 1 to 3 today. And I'm hoping we can have a Bible study seated across the table from each other with our Bibles open. I'll share my interpretation with you and you share yours. And then feel free to make comments on what I say. Now, let's begin with Proverbs 23, 1 to 3. When thou sittest to eat with a ruler, consider diligently what is before thee, and put a knife to thy throat, if thou be a man given to appetite. Be not desirous of his dainties, for they are deceitful meat. Now, again, here is some practical advice in layers. One would be to be on your guard when asked to sit at dinner with an important person, a powerful person. Don't relax and feel secure and easy because you're being watched. Another would be in the realm of the wickedness of human power. Don't be envious of the luxuries and ease of living of the rich and powerful because that food is deceitful. By the way, the word meat in the Bible often means food. Notice how it's used in the next verse, not as flesh, Genesis 1:29, like we think of it. And God said, Behold, I've given you every herb bearing seed which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in the which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed, to you it shall be for meat. Be careful if you find yourself eating with rulers, powerful men, magistrates, or the wealthy, particularly if the purpose of the banquet is political. As some commentators have pointed out, a man was murdered at a banquet in 2 Samuel 13:28. King Saul nearly murdered his own son during a meal in 1 Samuel 20:30. And Haman's visit to a banquet put on by Queen Esther resulted in his execution in Esther 7. Psalm 141:4. Incline not mine heart to any evil thing, to practice wicked works with men that work iniquity, and let not me eat of their dainties. Daniel 1:8. But Daniel purposed in his heart that he would not defile himself with a portion of the king's meat, nor with the wine which he drank. Therefore he requested of the prince of the eunuchs that he might not defile himself. For the Christian, one might go further and say to be careful about the approval of the powerful and mighty. Their delicacies, their dainties, are deceitful food. You'll not be able to maintain your witness as a Bible believer in front of the powerful. The place of the prophet is in front of the palace, warning men not to go in and convicting of sin. It is not seated at the table with the wicked and the mighty, partaking of their sins with them. Billy Graham, before William Randolph Hearst elevated him, had said in the late 1940s that the two greatest dangers facing the world were Roman Catholicism and Islam. By the 1960s, he was receiving an honorary degree from a Catholic college. It is strange what sitting at meat with rulers will do to an evangelist or a preacher. When we lust after the delicacies of the wealthy and powerful, we cannot lust after the things of God. If you find yourself at home watching the quote covet box TV and wishing you had that house or this car that someone in the elite has, then you do not covet the things of God because God does not approve of our coveting things we don't have. If you watch the doings of the politicos in Washington, the royals in London, or the gods of the silver stream, what gods, quote unquote, and wishing you could be in attendance, you're either not a Christian or you're a carnal one at best. If you're a person given to that appetite, it is best to turn the idiot box off and do something else for entertainment. The dainties of the rulers are deceitful meat. Their delicacies are lies and intrigue, exploitation and abuse, and their end, in all too many cases, is a lake of unquenchable fire. Your testimony for Christ can only be harmed by your association with them. When you sit at meat in a governor's mansion, the White House under any president of either party, a palace in Europe, or a place like the Vatican, you're sitting in Satan's lair because he is the quote, the little g, God of this world. See 2 Corinthians 4:4. And the Christian has no place there. All right, now we're going to stop there and pick it up in verses 4 and 5 next. So I'm asking you to set aside time today to read your Bible, let God speak to you through his word, and to study your Bible, cross-reference the verses, and also always pray for wisdom and understanding, and then share your interpretation with someone else. Now, you can purchase my comments on Amazon, and of course, I hope you do, or you can read them for free on blogger.com. But if you've watched this video this far, would you please click like and subscribe or follow and share the video with someone else? Thank you, and feel free to make your comments.